rise for the prayer and pledge of allegiance.
Our who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everybody. We'll start with item D, the approval of minutes. In the absence of any objections or corrections, the minutes shall stand approved for the April 7th, 2025 regular council meeting. I am hearing none. They will stand approved. Item E is citizen communication. If anyone is in attendance tonight or on the WebEx that would like to address council, now would be the time to come forward and do so. Yes, sir. Sir, you've already signed in. If you would, just state your name and address for the record, and then you have 5 minutes, please.
Yeah, I'm Steve Neese. I live out on 969 Foxbridge Road. The reason I'm here is to talk about the shooting range. A couple of years ago, we were at my son's house, and one of us could have been killed. We had 2 bullets come from the shooting range through the barn, and thank goodness we weren't in the direct line of fire of it. So since that time, I've been in contact with Mr. Small somewhat. I haven't gotten any feedback from him to speak of, but he assured me that the shooting range was going to be fixed. And I explained to him who in the United States controls shooting ranges. It's the Department of Energy, and that's some of the pages I've given you guys. There are quite a few things that I'm positive that the shooting range does not live up to. Like on page 1, it says live ranges should be designed to prevent injury to personnel and prevent property damage outside the range from misdirected or accidental firing. An open range may be established provided that enough distance and land are available to allow for surface danger zone appropriate to the weapon used. Lack of surface danger zones may require baffled ranges. And basically what a baffled range is you got baffles above so you cannot shoot out of the range, which anytime you're shooting out of the range, it can be a problem. And then there's a little note in here, the way the range is set up, in your planning, it says community growth, especially in areas with rapid urban growth, should be looked at carefully. And then on page 4, outside range sites should be remote from other activities but accessible. Surface danger zones should not extend across traveled roads, waterways, railways, or other areas. To protect against unauthorized access, surface danger zones should be controlled while firearms are being discharged. If other methods to control surface danger zones are not effective, then zones should be fenced in. Natural barriers like rivers, hills, or drainage channels can be used. The big point in this is surface danger zones should not extend across traveled roadways. My understanding now is that the range is shooting to the south. A 9mm bullet goes over a mile. State Route 24 is way closer to the range than a mile. There are houses within a mile. The elementary school is within a mile. And then you go on to page 6, surface danger zones must be posted with permanent signs warning persons of danger of live fire and prohibit trespassing. These signs must be posted in a way that a person cannot enter the surface danger zone without seeing at least one eligible or legible sign. You go down to number 7, where there is insufficient distance to lay out a new range with the required surface danger zone or utilize other ammunition with a maximum range that does not exceed the surface danger zone. Engineering or controls may be used to control firing on the range. Permission to deviate from the established surface danger zone requirements must be granted by the Department of Energy. To change the size of a surface danger zone, baffles may be installed. Partial and fully baffled system consists of the following components: overhead baffles, a canopy shield over firing points, berlin impact berm, side baffles. A fully baffled range must be constructed so that all direct fire can be contained in the range. And then it tells you to look at some figures, and they show you some things on how the baffles need to be set up. Seven and 8, I think it is, or how the range should be set up.
Mr. Neese, we're at time here. Mr. Small did share the range design criteria from the Department of Energy with me. I know he's gone through it a bit. Andy, would you like to add anything?
Yeah, I mean, the very first sentence in that Department of Energy range criteria states that it's for Department of Energy ranges. We are not required to have a Department of Energy range. The Ohio Revised Code speaks to it in section 1533. And they allow municipalities to basically set up their own shooting range, and we've done that. When this event occurred 2 years ago, it was actually April 29th of 2023, I immediately closed the range. And then over the course of the next year, I worked with staff, the police department and staff. We looked at some different options on making the range safer. We decided that we could shift the range, rotate the range 90 degrees. Mr. Neese is correct. We are now shooting to the south, which is the direction they originally shot when the range was designed or developed 40 or 50 years ago. And there's the same berm behind that as there was along the one to the west, which is probably 20 feet high. In addition to that, there are over 1,200 feet of wooded acreage behind that berm that extend south. We felt that was the best option for us, and so in July or August of this year, our police department has been utilizing the range. We no longer, the event that occurred 2 years ago was from the academy at Northwest State that was utilizing the range that afternoon. And ever since then, when we opened it, it is now only being utilized by our police department, and I believe the sheriff officers go out there, deputies go out there as well. So that's where we are.
So what you're basically trying to tell me is that you don't have to follow the Department of Energy's guidelines.
That's correct.
So in the United States of America, the federal government,
They have to follow their Department of Energy. Those are for Department of Energy ranges. And the very first sentence says that in that document. So,
it's a design criteria in the United States of America for shooting ranges.
right.
And basically, the shooting range that you have in the city of Napoleon meets very little of that criteria. And basically, this is just a public safety concern for me.
I
We
understand.
were shot at.
Well, you weren't shot at, bullets.
Okay, when you got bullets coming within 10 feet of you, I consider that being shot at.
Bullets accidentally went over and
Accidentally.
hit your structure.
So now, anytime I drive down State Route 24, I need to be concerned I'm gonna be shot at again.
You can be concerned about that anywhere you drive anymore, unfortunately.
Mr. Neese, thank you for coming in tonight. We'll take your feedback into consideration, but we're gonna move on. But thank you for coming. We do appreciate it.
Well, I just wanted you guys to be up to date because the feedback that I have gotten was nothing. And I was wondering if you had any idea what actually was supposed to happen for a well-designed shooting range.
Yeah, we've had numerous conversations with the city manager, with chief, and with the sheriff. So, as far as I'm concerned, I'm definitely in the loop. But again, thank you, and we will move on to item F.
Okay, thanks for your time.
Thank you. Item F is reports from council committees. F1, the electric committee did not meet on April 14th, 2025 due to lack of agenda items. The water, sewer, refuse, recycling, and litter committee did not meet on April 14th, 2025 due to lack of agenda items. F3, the municipal properties, building, land use, and ED committee did meet on April 14th, 2025. And Mr. Weitzel.
Yes, we discussed a CRA recommendation that we'll talk about later on in this meeting. And I think that was, we also discussed policy, procedure, guidelines for signs for sporting teams too, and we had a lot of input on that too. So we're working on both those things. And the CRA issue will be in the Good of the City tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Weitzel. F4, the Parks and Recreation Committee did not meet earlier tonight due to lack of agenda items. And we will move to item H, introduction of new ordinances and resolutions. H1 is resolution number 016-25, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract for the purchase of sodium chloride in cooperation with ODOT and declaring an emergency. Do we have a motion?
No motion.
Second?
Thank you. Andy?
Yes, Council President. The Public Works Director brought this to council last meeting to ask for legislation tonight. This is, we budgeted to purchase 200 ton of salt, and I believe it was $100 a ton. That's what we budgeted. But we're never sure what the price is gonna be. So this is one of those things where you sign up beforehand, and then whatever the price is, you pay. In the end, we'll have to take at least 90% of what we ask for, so. And what's before you tonight is just basically authorizing me to enter into a contract with ODOT for the purchase of sodium chloride.
Chad mentioned at last meeting, suspension is requested.
Yes, this came in the Friday before the previous council meeting, and we have to have this submitted to the state of Ohio before your next meeting, so I can't even ask to do 2 reads. So we're requesting suspension. To add on to what Andy mentioned, we assumed 200 ton at $100 a yard. We've been, the last couple of years, around $56 a yard, so we believe we're well padded there, but this is the money that comes from the various license plate, taxes, and things of that nature. So the money is earmarked for road things. We generally use it for salt. So just requesting suspension, and then I know there's an emergency clause on the legislation.
Thank you, Chad.
Yep.
Any questions?
Motion for suspension?
Second?
Michaela, please call the roll on suspension.
Tom?
Yes.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Brittany?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Any questions or comments before we vote on the resolution? Hearing none. Michaela, please call the roll.
Tom?
Yes.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Brittany?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
That is passed on first read under suspension. Thank you, Chad. Thank you, Andy. H2 is ordinance number 017-25, an ordinance appointing Lori Seclair as the city manager of Napoleon, Ohio, and declaring an emergency. Do we have a motion?
No motion.
Second?
Andy, you got anything on this?
No, let's just pass this. No, I do not. No. I think, I mean, going back, we've discussed it. I think we're
Correct the spelling.
very excited to have Lori as the next city manager. She's going to step in and do a great job. Just ready to move forward.
Mr. Mayor, as the chair of the Personnel Committee, do you have anything to add?
Okay.
Nope, I'm excited to see Lori joining the city again. She was with the county before, but now she's back with us, so welcome. You can do a great job.
I will say I've had a couple of county people upset with me. And I said, we're just getting her back.
Right?
This is to go into effect April 28th, if I'm not mistaken. With that said, I would entertain a motion for suspension.
Motion for
Second.
suspension.
We have a first and second. Michaela, please call roll on suspension, please.
Tom?
Yes.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Brittany?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Kent?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
I'll open the floor. Anything else anyone would like to add? Comments, questions, concerns?
I'm looking forward to it. She jumped in before, really good. So we'll see how it goes.
All right. Michaela, please call the roll.
Tom?
Yes.
Dr. Dave? Brittany?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Kent?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
That is passed on first reading of suspension. Welcome back, Lori. Item I is second reading of ordinances and resolutions. There are none this evening. Item J is third reading of ordinances and resolutions. There are also none. Item K, good of the city. K1, discussion or action, the approval of power supply cost adjustment factor for March 2025 as PSCA 3-month average factor 0.01428 and JV2 0.051065.
Yes, Council President, there's nothing significant here. It's virtually the same as it's been the last 3 or 4 months, and it's down slightly from the same period a year ago. So everything seems to be humming along just fine. I was able to, last week I attended the AMP board meeting, which was held in Paducah, Kentucky. That's where our AMP board president runs their electric system down there. And we were able to visit the Prairie State Generating Facility, from which we get about 25% of our power for the city. It's, I believe, one of the nation's largest coal-fired plants. Fascinating, huge campus. And I was struck by how little of it is actually a generating facility, but how much of it takes the coal processing takes place. So it was quite fascinating, and all of the byproducts they get off of the coal after it's burnt, and that they can sell the fly ash and and other gypsum for wallboard. Fly ash goes in cement as a replacement for cement and concrete. So it was just fascinating. It was a huge facility, and it's very, very well run, very, very clean. So proud to be. And AMP is the largest owner of that facility. So just wanted to add that while we were talking electric.
Thank you, sir. Do we have a motion to approve?
Council President, if I
Yes,
do,
sir.
I believe that should be, instead of March, April 2025.
Yes, it is.
Because that, it should be April, right, Andy?
Yes.
Yeah, so just Scribner's error there, but
All right, we will get that adjusted in the minutes. And do we have a motion to approve the April power supply cost adjustment factor, please?
Motion.
Second?
Thank you. Michaela, please call the roll.
Tom?
Yes.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Brittany?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Kent?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
That has been approved. Item K2, discussion or action, approval of the interim AMP board representative for Napoleon. Andy?
Sure. Yeah, as I stated, last week was my last AMP board meeting. And what I've discussed with Kevin, I've discussed with Lori, is to appoint Kevin as to the AMP board seat for now. allow Lori to be the AMP, sit in the back of the room basically as an alternate, board alternate. It was very valuable to me to be able to sit back there for 3 or 4 months, listen, learn, see how things flowed during a board meeting. So for the time being, I would appreciate it if council would just make a motion to appoint Kevin as the AMP board member for the city of Napoleon.
Thank you, Andy. Kevin, any hesitation on your end?
I think actually it's a pretty good transition. We've been through this before,
Yeah, he served in the same capacity when Joel left.
so, and it's just a matter of whenever Lori's comfortable, we flip again. So,
With that said, I would entertain a motion.
No motion.
Thank you. Michaela, please call the roll.
Tom?
Yes.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Brittany?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
That has been approved.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andy, for serving, and thank you, Kevin. Item K3, discussion or action, award Griffin Pavement Striping LLC the contract for the 2025 street striping in the amount of $134,962.20. Andy?
Yes, Council President, I will pass this one along to the Public Works Director to talk it.
Yes, the memo was included in your packet. Wednesday, April 9th, we opened bids for this project. This year, we only received one bid from Griffin Pavement Striping LLC, $134,962.20. This is our biannual street striping where we do the whole town. We had budgeted $135,000, so this is right at the budget. Although we only received one bid, historically, we generally receive 2, but Griffin, formerly Zimmerman, has gotten this contract every year since I've worked at the city of Napoleon, so we're very confident in their ability. It is my recommendation to go ahead and award this project to Griffin Pavement Striping LLC in the amount of $134,962.20.
Thank you, Chad. Questions or concerns? Do we have a motion to award the bid?
So,
Second?
Thank you. Michaela, please call the roll.
Tom?
Yes.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Brittany?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Bob?
yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Thank you again, Chad. Nice job on your estimate there. Item K4, discussion or action, the approval of a new liquor permit for LV Petroleum LLC, doing business as Petro Napoleon 900 American Road. Andy?
Yes, Council President, this just looks to be a transfer, must be a change of ownership from S&G Stores LLC to LV Petroleum LLC.
No action from council needed here.
Correct.
Any questions, comments? I'm hearing none. We'll move to item K5, discussion or action, a new CRA agreement with Woodland Homes. Andy?
Sure. As Councilman Weitzel mentioned earlier, it was discussed in the Municipal Properties Committee last week. Woodland Homes is looking to build 3 homes in Napoleon over on Hudson Street off of Oakwood Avenue. They've purchased the properties and they're looking for the same CRA agreement that we had with Janmar for the Westview Villas, which is a 50% tax abatement up to 10 years. It provides the developer with that abatement, and then that transfers to only the first owner. So if I go in and buy the house from the developer, I get the 50% abatement for up to 10 years. If I sell it after 4 years, it does not go to the next buyer. So it's strictly first owner for the abatement. So what I'm requesting is that you direct the law director to draft the necessary legislation to enter into this agreement.
And the owner is the occupant.
And the owner is the occupant, that's correct.
Which
I
was
can't
important.
buy it, get the abatement, and then rent out the house.
Rent out the house. It has to be the
Yeah,
occupant.
and I credit Brittany and Billy for tightening up the language on that. That helped out quite a bit
Yeah.
over the course of the last week, so.
I did have a single home builder reach out and say, can I get this too? No, but could we potentially put out what the incentives are for a single home builder in Napoleon?
We could. I know that we've relaxed some of our fees
Right.
and things over the years. We can certainly, if they reach out to the city, we can certainly tell them what those incentives are.
That'd be good. All right. Any questions on the CRA agreement? Okay, I'm hearing none. Do we have a motion to direct the law director?
So moved.
I'll second.
Thank you. Michaela, please call the roll.
Tom?
Yes.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Brittany?
Yes.
Russ?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just a side question. Did you clear it with the herd of deer out there?
We will go around the table. Mr. Mayor, I'll let you kick us off this evening.
All right, just want to thank Andy Small for his service here at the City of Napoleon. Again, obviously, mayor years ago, and it's been my pleasure to work with you the last 2 years. And not only on the work and business side, but to get to know you a little bit better as a person. I know your goal was to be here for about 5 years, and, you know, things have changed, but the work that you've accomplished in 2 years is amazing, and I think you have things set up very well for Lori to step in and take over. So thank you for everything.
Thank you, Mayor. Mr. Hayes?
I'll go along with those sentiments. And I would also like to have people drive past West Clinton and Haley and look and see how the Scott Mansion property has been cleaned up. Kudos to whoever did that.
Looking good.
Mr. Watson?
Nothing. Thank you, Andy. Appreciate it.
Mr.
Come see me
McBride?
sometime.
Nothing for me, but thanks, Andy.
Sure. Billy?
Good luck to Andy and welcome to Lori.
Andy?
Yeah, I think Brian's memo was included in the packets in regard to seasonal pickup. It was one of the lower pickups we've had, spring seasonal pickups we've had in the last 4 years. All the numbers were somewhat down, which is always good. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that it wasn't indeed in the packet with all the numbers. And the last thing I have is from Chief Legg, there was a notice, and I don't know if you all saw it, but Brad Strickland will be leaving the City of Napoleon as an officer and an SRO. He has served as our SRO at the school, for the schools since that was established. Done a phenomenal job. And Chief Legg went through an interview process and has chosen Rogelio Rubio to be the next, or Rocky, to be the next SRO. And there will be some overlap between Rocky and Brad in the coming weeks, so that Rocky can get up to speed as quickly as possible. But I think he'll do a phenomenal job. He's got big shoes to fill. Brad really ran with that program and has done a phenomenal job. So he's got it set up well for Rocky. Anyway, I wanted to mention that. And I do request 2 executive sessions this evening. One, to consider the acquisition of property. I can't leave without doing it.
All right.
And the other one is for preparing for, conducting, or reviewing collective bargaining strategy.
I take back everything I said about you.
And they will be brief.
Can you say that second one more time?
Yes, preparing for, conducting, or reviewing collective bargaining strategy.
Thank you, sir. I thought you might be brief.
All right. Yeah.
That's all I have, thank you.
Kevin?
I have nothing, thank you.
No, just echo something Miss Andy, but very excited to have Lori come aboard. For how many years? Just kidding. No commitment.
Dr. Dave?
Andy, I've appreciated working with you the time that I have. Your leadership has been great for me in this position. And just being able to call you and say, hey, what do you think about this? And you're like, I don't have time, but sure. No, no, you never did that. But I appreciate the time you've given me.
Thank you.
And Lori, looking forward to meeting, I guess, working with you. I guess we've already met. But, yeah, looking forward.
Lori, I'm very excited to have you back on board. You're the right person for the job, and I know you will do very well. Andy, I hate that you were leaving. Man, I hate it. On a personal level, I have looked at Andy as a mentor. When I considered running for council 8 years ago, Andy was my first call, and sat in his living room and he told me, read the charter, read the charter, read the charter. So working with you in this capacity has been amazing. Thank you for all the work that you've done, and best of luck in retirement.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, can we have a motion to go into executive session for the acquisition of property?
So move.
Second.
Michaela, please call the roll.
Tom?
Yes.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Brittany?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
And can we have a motion to go into executive session for preparing, conducting, reviewing strategy around collective bargaining, please?
Motion.
Second.
Michaela, please call the roll.
Tom?
Yes.
Dr. Dave? Brittany?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
All right, can we have a motion to come out of executive session for the acquisition of property, please?
So move.
Second.
Michaela, please call the roll.
Tom?
Yes.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Brittany?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
No action taken there. And a motion to come out of executive session for preparing, conducting, and reviewing strategy around collective bargaining.
Motion.
Second.
Michaela, please call the roll.
Tom?
Yes.
Dr. Dave? Brittany?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
No action taken there. Item M is approve the payment of bills and financial reports. In the absence of any objections or corrections, the payment of bills shall stand approved. Hearing none, they stand approved. Do you have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
Michaela, please call the roll.
Tom?
Yes.
Dr. Dave?
Yes.
Brittany?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes,
Ken?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Jordan?
Yes.
we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.